Welcome to another video of U.S. Immigration TV. Today I'm going to talk about how fraud lasts forever on your record. And even though the fraud could have been committed many years ago, it could still come up in a new case. Let's say, for example, many years ago, a person applied for a visitor visa and they submitted fake documents or misrepresented their job or their income, and they were refused because of fraud. Or they attempted to procure some kind of immigration benefit through fraud or misrepresentation, entry on an assumed name. It's there on their record. Years later, they find a way to obtain a green card, either, let's say, through an employer petition. They have a U.S. citizen child who's 21 and is going to petition them, or they get married and a U.S. citizen is going to petition them. Well, they think, well, you know what? The fraud happened so long ago, it's never going to come up again. Wrong. In 1996, President Clinton signed a law that made fraud last forever on your record. Before that law, if fraud happened more than 10 years ago, it was erased. But now fraud lasts forever. In fact, I've come across cases where somebody may have committed a misrepresentation in the late 80s or 90s, and now they're being petitioned. It comes up. So be aware of that. And the embassy and the USCIS keep records of the fraud. Like if you've had the refusal or if you've had a denial before, it can still come up. But there can still be hope, because even if a person commits fraud, in some cases they can apply for a fraud waiver, and if granted, the fraud is then erased from their record. Let's say they now have a way to get a green card, and let's say by the spouse, employer, whatever, and they are applying for the green card, either in the U.S. or abroad at the U.S. Embassy. If they have a spouse or parent who is a U.S. citizen or an immigrant, and they demonstrate that that relative, which is called a qualifying relative, will suffer extreme hardship, it could be possible that they can apply for the fraud waiver, and hopefully the fraud waiver will be approved. Now, if you have that type of situation where you are currently eligible for a green card or other immigration benefit and you want to apply, but you had fraud in your past, I would strongly recommend that you seek the advice of an attorney to determine, for example, if it is fraud, get the old records, request the files from USCIS or the U.S. Embassy, determine your eligibility for a fraud waiver, and possibly help you file that fraud waiver. But it's not something that you should be doing yourself. Instead, have an attorney look over your case and be aware. Fraud lasts forever, and it could come up again when you apply for a new immigration benefit. I hope you found this video interesting and informative. If it doesn't apply necessarily to you, maybe you have friends, family, or coworkers who had fraud in their past, and this video could be of help to them. So make sure to like, share, and subscribe. I'm Michael Gurfinkel, and this is U.S. Immigration TV.